Hello friends. Well, in this video, I am going to discuss with you a very crucial topic for 10th CBSE board examination. And the topic's name is Analytical Paragraph Writing. Sounds familiar? Well, Analytical Paragraph Writing is a very engrossing topic for the 10th board appearing students. Why? Because through this, CBSE actually checks the ability of a student to think analytically and express it in the form of a paragraph. Analytical paragraph writing comes under the writing section of English language paper for 10th board, okay, and it carries around 5 marks weightage. In this question, you will be supplied with some kind of data, let's say in the form of a graph or a pie chart. You have to think analytically over this data and then you have to express yourselves in the form of a paragraph, okay. Well, although the question is very easy and scoring, despite it requires a bit of concentration to attempt it. I will cover each and every aspect of attempting this question with utmost ease. So make sure you stay tuned till the end of this video, else you might get confused. So fasten your seat belts. Hello friends, this is K. Saket. Welcome back and you are watching Phonetics. So let's watch this video together. Well, before I shall jump to the mainstream video, allow me to tell you one more thing. I have divided this video in 3 levels. In level 1, I am going to explain you what actually analytical paragraph writing is. Okay. Then in level 2, where I would suggest you to keep your utmost attention. Why? Because here I am going to give you few brahmastras from my side. Yes, brahmastras, aka some tips and tricks. So you can attempt this question with utmost ease, okay? And in level 3, we will going to apply these brahmastras on one of the examples. So it will be easy for you to apply these brahmastras on any of the questions available to you, okay? So now let's watch the level 1.
Let's understand what analytical paragraph writing is. Let's separate analytical from paragraph writing. We will talk individually about both the entities, analytical and paragraph writing. Paragraph writing. Let's understand what paragraph writing is. A paragraph is a series of systematic sentences that are organized and coherent. It means a single concept or an idea which has various branches in which numerous concepts or ideas are associated, directly or indirectly. A good piece of paragraph writing indeed must have 3 basic seeds in it. The first one is accuracy, which comprehends creativity and critical thinking power. Then comes brevity, means the intelligence of a person in the use of language and choice of words. The third seed is clarity, which comprehends expressions. Expressions that how will you serve your idea or concept about the given chart. So together, if we add all these 3 seeds, that accuracy, brevity, clarity, in other terms, we can say that creativity dot coherence and the conclusion of all these entities together result in a good paragraph. Now let's move to the second part, that is an analytical approach or analytics of paragraph writing. What do I mean when I say the term analytical? Well, for me, analytical means a combination of logic, means the development of a concept or an idea, plus reasoning, means information or data or statistics available to us. Put together, they form a dynamic combination called logical reasoning. when mixed with words or paragraphs or expressions, will give you this dynamite combination of analytical paragraph writing.
Well, I hope you understood the level 1. Okay, now we are moving to level 2. And as I have previously mentioned, that you need to put your utmost attention to level 2 because it is very crucial. And once you understood it, I am damn sure that you will never going to forget and it will become so easy to attempt this question in your examination. Now it's time to understand or to meet with the Brahmastras. So now I am going to give you 3 Brahmastras from my side. Okay, so pay attention to it and let's watch this. So according to the Brahmastra number 1, first read the question very carefully and try to figure it out. What is the main idea or what is the main topic on which everything is provided to you? Okay, yes, the main topic or the main idea, the main concept on which the given data or pie chart or graph is based on.
Let's understand its format. This format contains an introduction to the given graph, the overview of the given graph, and in the last, the details. Let's understand them one by one. At first, we will start with the introduction of the graph. Well, in the introduction, you need to begin with one or two sentences that state what the given question shows. And to do this, you have to identify the title sentence, making sure you put it in a time frame if there is one. For example, the line graph below shows changes in the amount and type of fast food consumed by Australian teenagers from 1975 to 2000. So let's apply Brahmastra number 1, that is try to find out the topic of the given graph. Here you can see the topic of the graph is fast food consumption, particularly in Australia among teenagers. So your introductory line will be, the line graph compares the fast food consumption of teenagers in Australia between 1975 and 2000, a period of 25 years. Let's move to the overview of the graph with the help of our second Brahmastra.
Now let's talk about the Brahmastra number 2. Well, according to this Brahmastra, you need to find out the major catch given in the question. Yes, the major point of conflict. Okay, just remember, don't forget it. You have to find out the major catch, the major conflict, the major point of discussion. Okay,
Master number 2 in this case will be the contrast between the consumption of fish and chips with pizza and burgers. The major catch or conflict. So, your overview can be like this. Overall, the consumption of fish and chips declined over the period, whereas the amount of pizza and hamburgers that were eaten increased. This covers the main changes that took place over the whole period. That's what your major conflict or catch will be. Congratulations, Brahmastra number 2 has launched successfully. Now you must be thinking where to keep the data. So here we will use our Brahmastra number 3 for the body of the paragraph.
now let's move towards the third Brahmastra, which is very important. Okay, so let's say it. Well, in Brahmastra number 3, what way I'm going to do is I'm going to select 3 referential data for writing my paragraph. Okay, and with the help of those referential data, I'm going to discuss the major catch I found in the given question. Okay, well, what we have to do in this? In this, we will going to find out the minimum unit or the maximum unit, or I must say, we will going to find out a range in which our point of discussion will go on. Yes, see, once we got the major catch, that is the point of discussion, what we're going to do, we're going to drag out the reference points from the given paragraph or given pie charts. And then I will try to explain my major catch or the major idea with the help of these reference data in para 1. Then again, I will do the same. I will follow the same steps to write my second paragraph. to select the three reference datas which will be contrasting to the previous one, and then I will discuss my catch with the help of those referential datas. Okay, so according to that we will get two paragraphs, and you have to follow these steps again and again to write as many paragraphs as you can. Okay, so how to apply or how to select the referential data, and then how we will going to apply that on our major catch, and how we will write the paragraph, all these process you will going to know in this video later on. So I would suggest that please stick to this video and try to understand that how I am applying these brahmastras to solve this question of analytical paragraph writing. Okay, so let's begin. The details in the body paragraph will have reference of the data. Key to organizing your body paragraphs means what? To keep the data together. That is the Brahmastra number 3. That is minimum unit to maximum unit. It must have one and one relation to each other. It means one paragraph should carry one pattern, or it will be minimum unit or an idea, and another pattern will be the another unit or the maximum unit. As we have already identified in the overview with the help of our two brahmastras that the consumption of fish and chips declined over the period, whereas the amount of pizza and hamburgers that were eaten increased. This clears that the pizza and hamburger were following a similar pattern, that is increasing one, and fish and chips were following the different, that is decreasing. So according to our Brahmastra, we got our group 1 or unit 1 as group on fish and chips, and the other group will be on pizza and hamburgers, as you can see in the graph as well. The increasing pattern of pizza and burgers will be our group 1, which is shown by the green arrow, and the red arrow shows the decreasing pattern of fish and chips, which will be our group 2. Before we shall start writing our paragraph, let's try to apply or understand the Brahmastra, that how we will going to use that Brahmastra in writing our two paragraphs. Well, we will extract at least 3 points as reference data, based on which we will use our Brahmastras for group 1 or unit 1. Like here, according to this graph, I am taking fish and chips as group 1 for me, as discussed above. So they are being eaten 100 times a year. This will be my data number 1. Second point will be their rise from 1980 to 1985. And let's say our third point will be decline over the years. So now, while using these reference points, let's start writing the paragraph for group 1. Our paragraph for group 1 will look like this. In 1975, the most popular fast food with Australian teenagers was fish and chips, being eaten 100 times a year. This was far higher than pizza and burgers, which were consumed approximately 5 times a year. However, apart from a brief rise, again from 1980 to 1985, the consumption of a fish and chips gradually declined over the 25-year time scale to finish at just under 40. So according to our trick, group 1 or unit 1 has a comparative study which has developed an idea or concept by the given data or analytics. So we can say that it's an analytical paragraph writing for group 1. So now we can say that it's an analytical paragraph for group 1. Note here, As you can see that I have used only 3 referential points and then decoded them into a paragraph. But if you want, you can use more than 3 data, or you can identify them according to your will and can decode them into paragraph. It's just like a note making where you convert a given paragraph into a code form and then decode it to make your notes. Okay. Now let's talk about group 2. As for group 2, we will going to follow the same steps as before of selecting the 3 referential data. But this time it will be much easier for us to write the paragraph. Why? Because the 3 referential data will be opposite or contrasting to the points we have selected for the previous ones. Okay, so let's do it. First, let's say I'll choose the gradual rise in pizza consumption from 1990 to 1995. Secondly, I am taking the stability order in group 2 is pizza and hamburgers consumption from 1995 to 2000. And third, let's say I am taking an intense rise in hamburger consumption from 1970 to 1980 than fish and chips. So now decoding these reference points, our paragraph 2 will look like this. In sharp contrast to these teenagers, the other two fast foods at much higher level, pizza consumption increased gradually until it overtook the consumption of fish and chips in 1990. It then leveled off from 1995 to 2000. The biggest rise was seen in hamburgers as the occasion they were eaten increased sharply throughout the 1970s and 1980s, exceeding that finished at the same level that fish and chips began with consumption at 100 times. So this was the comparative analysis on the basis of data given for group 2. So as you can see, our second paragraph, it was more easier to write than the previous one. Why? Because I have used the contrasting features or contrasting points to the previous one. And I would suggest you to do the same. It will always be easy to use the contrasting point in the second paragraph, opposite to the first one. Well, one more thing you can note over here. As you have seen that I have used quite an ornamental language while writing the paragraphs. If you can do so, it will be more appealing and scoring for you. However, if you still couldn't write such an ornamental language, you don't have to get into sweat. Okay, you can use your own language and make it as simple as you can. Alright, so it's not a big deal to write or to form an ornamental paragraph only. You can use any data which suits you and can express it in the most possible simpler form. Everything will be fine. So this is all about analytical paragraph writing I wanted you to know. If you have any questions or queries, put it in the comment section and I will try to resolve them as soon as possible. I would suggest you kindly do some practices by using these Brahmastras on analytical paragraph writing questions. Then only you will get a command over these and you will understand how to use them in real examination. So if you have any suggestions for this video, please do let me know. They are always welcome over here. And if you like this video, do share it with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe it. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, stay healthy, be happy, and Jai Hind.